Hey there, and welcome to another episode of Tips and Tech Talk. I am your host, Ron. Today we're going to be taking a look at the latest drone release by DJI. It's the DJI Phantom 4 Pro version 2. But before I tell you why I recently purchased this drone and what I like about it, what do you say we go fly this drone? So in the last 3 years, DJI has come out with the Phantom 4, the Phantom 4 Pro, the Mavic Pro, the Spark, and the Mavic Air. And now, their most recent release is the Phantom 4 Pro version 2. And it didn't get a lot of fanfare simply because it's just a basic change from the Phantom 4 Pro that's already out on the market. And one of the changes is the propellers. They're different, they're quieter, and they will be quieter on the version 2 than they will be on the version 1 with the new propellers, so keep that in mind. Another change in the Phantom 4 Pro version 2 from the previous Phantom 4 Pro is the OcuSync as opposed to the light bridge technology. What that does is OcuSync is the newer technology, it's the latest and greatest, but ultimately what it'll do is it'll allow you to use your DJI goggles without wires. So remotely you can watch what the drone sees through the goggles without any wires and without being tied or tethered to the person that's operating the controller of the quad. So there's a lot of reasons for me to love this Phantom 4 Pro version 2, but ultimately it's about quality, and I love the quality of video and the quality of photographs that this drone takes, and I'm very pleased to be able to share this with my clients. The first thing you should do in your settings is white balance. Now I've found with the DJI 4 app that if it's sunny, hit the sunny white balance. If it's cloudy, hit the cloudy white balance. I don't really like to use auto simply because sometimes the lighting changes really quickly, and I don't want that changing on the fly, so I like to set that. If it's sunny, set the white balance for sunny. If it's cloudy, cloudy, and so on. You can control your ISO, and you can control your shutter speed. Right now I have my ISO set at 100. I like to shoot in custom. My sharpness is -1. I like to put my contrast at -3 and my saturation at -2. That's the style I like. As far as the color setting, I like decinelike. This setting I find gives me the most flexibility and allows me to color correct and really draw out the colors and the content of the video I'm shooting from the air. So it really gives me control, and I can control the color, the saturation, and it just gives me more control of the video and the photographs that I'm taking when I set these settings, and I don't just set it on automatic.
It has been updated. Please check it on the map.
So now that I have my drone in the air and I'm actually shooting when I'm going to be recording, I want to make sure my settings are correct. First thing I want to do is go in white balance, and it's kind of sunny, but it's mostly sunny, so I'm going to set it at sunny. I'm going to set it at 1080 at 30 frames per second, and then I'm going to go over and manually I'm going to set my aperture at 4.0, my ISO at 100, and my shutter speed at 60, which is double my frame rate, which is 30 frames per second. So I'm up in the air. I'm going to start recording now. Alright, so my quad's recording. I'm at 144 feet. I'm going up 151 feet. And so I'm controlling the quad right now. I'm just going straight up right now. But as I mentioned earlier, some of the smart features on this quad is quite impressive. And with a small hit of a button here on the tablet, I can control these smart features. And there's normal, which actually is just you controlling the quad. Just taking a peek at my quad, make sure it's still where it's supposed to be. It has draw, which you draw on the tablet where you want it to go, and it will do so. Like if you draw it in a squiggly line, it will follow that squiggly pattern. If you draw a box, it will follow that pattern. It has gesture mode, which is like a selfie mode. So if you make like you put your hand in a rectangle motion, you can take your own picture. Active track, which is very cool, because what active track does is you can focus on one person or or subject, a person or an animal, or whatever you want to track, and you put it on, you made that person or that thing the focus, and wherever that thing moves, where that person moves, it will follow that in active track. One of my favorite intelligent flight modes on the DJI 4 app is the tap fly. So we're going to go ahead and do the tap fly, and basically all it is you tap anywhere on your screen where the camera can see, set the miles per hour, and just tap that, hit go, and it will descend to that point. Right now I'm going at about a rate of 14 miles an hour, and I'm capturing some cool video over Jimmy John's Field. Like I said, I just, with one push of a button, this is tap fly, it descends to the point where you put on the tablet. You can also raise it if you want to. So it's descending right now, and I'm at 163 feet, and I'm just going to stop. Another one of the smart modes that I like is the point of interest. And what the point of interest is, you pick a spot, you go over one spot, and you say this is the point of interest. Then you set that point of interest, then you back up, and it will do an orbit around that point of interest, so you get a 360 look of your point of interest with just a couple of taps on your tablet. So let's try that. Let's do a orbit of Jimmy John's Field. First thing you need to do is go to the center of your point of interest. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to go to the middle, I don't know, maybe just above second base over Jimmy John's Field. So I'm going to record my POV, which I just did. Now I'm going to back up so that I'm kind of looking over my point of interest. Where ultimately I'm going to go back as far as I want it to go around. So I can be as close as the point of interest or as far as the point of interest that I choose. So I'm going a little bit, I want to go back enough so I can get the whole ballpark in this 360 shot. And I'm going to go ahead and hit apply. And now it is actually going around the ballpark. At about 10 miles an hour, I'm rotating around the ballpark and getting a very cool 360 view of Jimmy John's Field. This takes exceptional video. I could not be more pleased with my purchase of the Phantom 4 Pro version 2. So ultimately, it's about quality for me, and as you can see from the video that I've taken so far from the Phantom 4 Pro version 2, is that this product does not disappoint. So as we send this thing around the orbit of Jimmy John's Field one more time, I could not be more pleased with the purchase of the Phantom 4 Pro version 2. Ultimately, it's about quality for me, and I'm very excited to be able to share this with my clients and get the best quality video from the aerial perspective as possible. If you like this video, share it with all your friends. Click that like icon. Also, go to my YouTube channel, hit that bell icon to make sure you're notified when I make future videos. And of course, go to my website at ronrobinsonstudios.com where you can see a whole lot more videos. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Tips and Tech Talk. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.